She's daughter of our Veerbhadra Prabhu and Srimati Mataji. They have raised her with so much love and care and affection and bhakti that you will see in her words of wisdom. She's seeking blessings from all of you. She has asked me to seek blessings from all of you. Special day, we're supposed to celebrate Pushyabhishek, but it's too cold for Krishna to be filled with flowers. So coming maybe next month or month after, but she'll touch upon Pushyabhishek. Today's actual day of Pushyabhishek. When all the Brajavasis, they come together and find the most fragrant and fresh flowers from Braj, all over the Braj, and they bring and they bathe Radha Krishna with flowers. The festival is called Pushpabhishek or Pushyabhishek, same thing. So she will touch upon that. Let's welcome her and encourage her by chanting 3 times, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारे यमुनातीरावनचारे जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् His Divine Grace AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's all recite our Guru prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Krisajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming today on this auspicious day of Shri Krishna Pushpabhishek. So today is the day when we offer to Krishna different varieties of flowers as an expression of our love for him. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 10.41, Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam shrimaturjitameva va tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejumsha sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So sometimes there's a doubt that why are we offering back to Krishna a spark of his own splendor? Does Krishna really need the offerings that we give him? Like today we offer flower petals to Krishna, different flowers to Krishna. Is Krishna really needy of those flowers that we offer him? No, Krishna is just needy of our love. I was hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture today morning, and Prabhupada was stressing that Krishna is crying for our love, because that's what the need of the jiva is. The jiva needs to be loved and needs to love. So Krishna sees that we all are suffering in the material world because we are looking for happiness in the wrong place. And that's why he tries in different ways to awaken the love for us, of love for him in our hearts. So Krishna, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of all six opulences, who has his pleasure potency, his Hladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani, always present with him. But he is longing to reawaken the love in our hearts for him so that we can all come back to him and stop suffering in this material world. So this is the reason for Krishna's appearance as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. And most of us struggle to even understand the external superhuman pastimes of Krishna. Like 7-year-old boy Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill. It's so amazing. But our acharyas in our disciplic succession are so great. They went to such a high level of bhakti that they can even understand what's going on in Krishna's heart. So one of our acharyas has mentioned that the reason for Krishna's appearance as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna felt after he went back to his spiritual abode, after his avatar as the Purna Purushottam in Dwapar Yuga, he went back to his abode and he was feeling that I gave the Bhagavad Gita to everyone. And in the Bhagavad Gita, I instructed everyone, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Give up all kinds of duties and surrender unto me. And do not fear, I shall take care of you. But Krishna feels that I didn't teach them the process of surrender. And Krishna is feeling so empathic toward all of us. He's saying that as Kali Yuga degrades, all of their intelligence will go drastically down. And we all will not be able to understand anything about the intelligence Krishna has provided us. the knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna has provided will be misinterpreted in many ways. So Krishna feels that he should come again and show the process of surrendering unto Krishna by his example in the form of a devotee. So this is the reason for his incarnation as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna, when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he takes the mood of Srimati Radharani. So there's 5 kinds of rasas that we can share with Krishna. There's Shanta Rasa, which is the passive state. And the next level is the Dasya Rasa. It's the servitorship to the Lord. The third level is the Sakhya Rasa, where it's friendship with the Lord. Fourth level is the Vatsalya Rasa, where we share this parental love for the Lord. And the highest, most intimate level is the Madhurya Rasa. It's the love that the gopis and Srimati Radharani have for Krishna, that conjugal love for Krishna. And most of us are at this stage of Shantarasa, where we worship the Lord with awe and reverence. And the next stage is like Hanuman, where Lord, you are my master, and I am your constitutional servant, and I am ready to follow any of your order. And the next one is the Sakhya Rasa, which the Gopas and Arjuna share with Krishna. Like Krishna, I play with you, you play with me, and we're friends. And the next level is the Vatsalya Rasa, like Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda have for Krishna. That Krishna, you might be tired, you might be hungry playing in the forest all day. And the last and most intimate level is Krishna, I am yours. The conjugal love that gopis and Radharani have for Krishna. So this is the highest level of love that all the great devotees like Narada and Uddhava look up to. The love of the gopis. And this love, Krishna has taken that mood and come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioned in the scriptures as Channa Avatar. So Channa in Sanskrit means hidden. So hidden incarnation. So it's called the hidden incarnation because in all of his incarnations as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimha, he exhibited his opulence as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his majesty. Because suppose in Nrsimhadev, he slayed the king of demons, Hiranyakashipu. But when he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came as his devotee. He didn't exhibit any of his opulences as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why he's called the Channa Avatar. And this time, he comes to show the process of surrendering unto Krishna. So is there anyone in the audience who feels that there is a better person to teach the art of surrendering unto Krishna than Krishna himself? No, right? Because Krishna, Srila Prabhupada was saying, I was reading today morning, that there is no better person to understand God from than the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, we have to study the scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And similarly, we have to imbibe and apply in our lives the example of Lord Chaitanya. And we have to check the day-to-day activities of Lord Chaitanya and see how we can apply them in our lives. So basically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught 3 things. So Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. So Sambandha is our relationship with the Lord. It's who are we, who is the Lord, and what is our relationship. So that's step number 1. So first of all, we have to understand that we're not the body. We're the eternal spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna, who have turned our backs away from Krishna, even though Krishna was warning us, saying that the material world is not a place of happiness. But we just, like a rebellious child would do, we turned our back away from Krishna and came here. And we have to understand that that's the reason for all our material suffering. And when we understand that this is the way we got into this material suffering, then we can understand the way to get out. Because we broke this relationship. Krishna didn't break the relationship. We made a choice because of our free will. We made that bad choice of saying, Krishna, I don't want you. So now we have to consciously make a decision to make the good choice and say, Krishna, I want to reestablish my connection with you. And now when we understand that we are parts and parcels of Krishna and we have to reestablish our broken connection with him, the next is the Abhideya part. And Abhideya is where Lord Chaitanya showed the most emphasis. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed by his day-to-day activities what we should practice as devotees to cultivate our sadhana to the highest level and come to the stage of prayojana, which is the stage where we have unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service for the Lord, and thus we can go back to Godhead. So the Abhideya process, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains the Abhideya process as the process of cultivating the dormant love of Krishna that we have in our hearts. So that love can be cultivated by service. And the primary, most important service, which is explained by Lord Chaitanya, is the chanting of the holy name. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam. Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there is no other means of deliverance than the chanting of the holy name of Lord Hari. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. In the scriptures, when there's something given 3 times, that means it's extreme emphasis. It's really, really important. Because even if it's mentioned in the scriptures even once, that means it's really important. But if it's mentioned 3 times, then it has an extreme level of importance. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that extreme level of importance. Because if we would see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, it only consisted of 2 things. Every day he would chant 64 rounds on beats. And then rest of the day he would go out on Nagar Sankirtan, which is congregational chanting. That's his job. He came here to reclaim all the conditioned souls. So he goes out on the streets and makes everyone hear the holy name. So all that spark in their heart, that spark of love of God can be fanned. And he would chant all day, taking breaks only to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. The stories of the devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj, he would hear hundreds and hundreds of times before he would feel satisfied, teaching us that it's a very deep mood that they have. And we have to imbibe the mood of such great devotees and cultivate our taste for the holy name. So the holy name is Krishna personified. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in his Shikshashtakam, Namna Makari Bahudha Nijasarva Shaktis. Krishna, you have infested all your potencies in your name. Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, his name, form, pastimes, and qualities are present in his name. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, but I have no attraction for your holy names. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has attraction, but he's saying on behalf of all of us, saying we don't have taste for your holy name. So the way of developing that taste is also taught by the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by studying scriptures. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it wasn't like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't have taste for the holy name, and for that purpose he was reading scriptures. But he was teaching all of us that reading scriptures is crucial for our progress in our sadhana. Because if we don't read the scriptures, our faith in the holy name will decrease. And if we stop chanting, our faith in understanding the glories of Krishna mentioned in the scriptures will decrease. So both of these have to increase. And either one, if it's put down, it's great danger, because then our bhakti process collapses immediately. So this is the way given by Lord Chaitanya. And we have to schedule our lives in such a way that the big rocks go in first. So if whoever didn't understand what I meant by that, is that if you suppose take a jar, imagine a jar and you have big rocks and small rocks. So if we put all the small things in first, the small rocks and the sand, then at the end there will be no space left for the big rocks. But suppose we make the foundation with the big rocks, the heavy rocks, then the little pieces of stones and sand will fit in any corner. So just like that, when we prioritize our sadhana, when our chanting and hearing we put as the most important part of our day, then all the other things will happen because we're habituated to do that. But if we say that, no, let me finish this first, then the sadhana, which is the most important part, never happens. So, it's really amazing to see how when we take out time for Krishna, Krishna saves the time that we would be wasting in our material activities. For example, like suppose we think that, I can't chant because I have two hours to commute to work. And suppose we feel that way and we say, I don't have time for chanting, then Krishna says, that's how you planned. So that's what happens. It takes 2 hours for us to get to work. But suppose we take out 1 hour for Krishna in the morning and say, Krishna, I'm going to chant for you in the morning. Then Krishna's going to say, okay, you spent this 1 hour for me, so I'm going to make sure there's no traffic and your commute to your destination will happen in 1 hour instead of 2 hours. So when we spend our time for Krishna, Krishna saves our time. So that way we can schedule our lives in such a way that our Krishna consciousness process as our sadhana becomes first priority. And we should make a conscious resolution, now the new year is here, to increase our sadhana a little bit. So it's not just what you heard today, but just like we do on Pushpabhishek, we're offering something consciously for the pleasure of Krishna. So we should offer something, saying that Krishna, I'm doing this much for you. So let's all make a decision that I'm going to do this for you, Krishna, and I'm going to keep this until next year. And I'm going to keep going forward, increasing that. Like suppose we're chanting 1 round now. Take a vow that you'll chant 2 rounds this year. So like that, we have to gauge our progress in devotional service. It should never just stay, that's it, it's not moving. It should always keep going higher and higher. Because the pure level of Krishna consciousness is when we can cry for Krishna like a baby cries for its mother, helplessly. And none of us are at the pure stage of chanting yet. And to obtain to that pure stage of chanting, we have to follow the regulative principles of devotional service. So these principles are taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have to practice these principles given to us by Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas in our practical day-to-day lives so that we can progress in our devotional service. And usually the taste for the devotional service or taste for anything doesn't come unless we understand the value of that something, extreme importance. So we have to understand the urgency to get liberated from the suffering of this material world. Death may come anytime and rob us of this opportunity, the most valuable opportunity of our human birth. Because the human birth is the only birth where we can go back to Godhead. We can, maybe in the animal levels, we can get some like punya by hearing the name of the Lord and we can elevate to the level of human life. But the human life is the only means, the vehicle, which can take us directly to the lotus feet of Krishna. So this human life, if it's gone once, then that's it. We have to wait again for this human life to come. So now we have to make sure that before time runs out, and we don't know when death is going to come. So there should be this urgency always in our hearts that Krishna, I have to come back to you. So we have to strive to make our chanting and any process of bhakti that we do highest in quality. So we have to gauge our devotional service, how it's progressing on a day-to-day basis. And this gauging can be done by reading scripture. In scriptures it's mentioned that these are the standards that the devotees lived by. And these are the standards one should live by. So one should always look up to these standards and always try to take steps closer towards that level. So it may not happen all at once. So we won't go from step 1 to step 100, but we have to take steps. So gradually, because it should never just become just, that's it, I came to this level and now I'm not moving. I'm just staying in this level. No, because there's always more, there's always more. And because we're not the greatest devotees of Krishna, and we have to aspire to come to that pure love that Srimati Radharani has for Krishna. So we have to always know that there's more devotional service to do. And in that mood, we have to take shelter of Krishna and cry out to Krishna and beg him to give us the taste for the holy name and his glories. So when we practice this in a very faithful manner, consistently on a day-to-day basis, then the compassion in our hearts will develop for all the conditioned souls who are all suffering because of their forgetfulness of Krishna. Because it's not just us. Krishna is not just crying for his devotees, saying that, oh my devotees, I want you to come back to me. No, the whole world is Krishna's children. Krishna is crying for all of us to come back to him. So it is our duty. It'll be really ungrateful of us and very selfish to say that I've gotten the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, and now I know that I'm the eternal spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna, and I have to go back to him and re-establish my connection with him. But if you don't share this with anyone, then it's really selfish. So it becomes our duty to share this knowledge with everyone. So that's when we develop this compassion. And with this compassion, we should try to reawaken the love in everyone's hearts that they have forgotten. That love for Krishna, that Krishna comes to reawaken as in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this we should do by the congregational chanting and just this book distribution and services like that. And by doing this, we can make our devotion stronger, and we can cooperatively, along with everyone, go back to Godhead and give Krishna the highest pleasure. So now, I was thinking that it might take too much time, but I wanted to speak only this much, and I want to see if there's any questions, and if not, I want to add some more points. And so now I'm just going to see if there's any questions, and we can address the questions. Yes, Prabhuji.
You mentioned that Lord Chaitanya really only had two occupations, chanting japa and also letting Harinam say on the streets afterwards.
Yes, and he would study and hear the Srimad Bhagavatam.
So, can you give any advice on how Lord Chaitanya was able to motivate all the other devotees to take heart with him?
So, I was actually reading, like a few months ago, a commentary by our acharyas that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he was teaching us the best way of preaching to anyone. So one of the 10 offenses to the holy name is giving the message of the Lord to an unfaithful person. And Prabhupada was asked that, but we're doing Harinam Sankirtan, and anyone can be unfaithful, but we're still giving the holy name. So is that an offense? But Srila Prabhupada said, no, they're not unfaithful, they're not envious, they have no relationship with Krishna, so we're just fanning that spark in their hearts. We're not preaching to them the glories of the holy name, but we're preaching just the holy name. So it's not an offense. And similarly here, just hearing the holy name is enough to awaken that love for Krishna in everyone's hearts. So they don't have to understand the value of the name. If they're inquisitive, they will ask. And they will want to understand, like all the devotees asked from Srila Prabhupada and got to know. But there's no need for the person to understand before the holy name starts doing the process of cleansing the person's heart. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching us, so regardless of who the person is, even if he's a human or not, we should always be chanting the holy name because it purifies the soul. It makes the soul remember his connection with Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it wasn't like he was doing it in order to motivate everyone. He was doing it because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead who came to reclaim all the fallen souls. So he was doing it to reawaken that love in everyone's hearts. So he knows that this holy name can cleanse everyone's hearts. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, in his Sikshashtakam he gives, the first verse. It cleanses the mirror of the heart. So when this cleansing process happens, then one becomes motivated to understand the glories of chanting Hare Krishna. But first of all, by hearing Hare Krishna, one is purified because all the dirt in our heart is cleansed. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing. He was just making everyone hear the holy name so that they can become purified. And he was teaching us that that's what we should do. We should make everyone hear the holy name, regardless of whoever they are. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? So, okay, if there's no questions, then I wanted to do something at the end. So I want all of us to make a resolution now, because in our hearts, we're not going to do this and we're not going to share it. We're just going to make a resolution in our hearts because it's New Year's. It's 2019 now. And usually everyone makes, even in the material world, some resolution like, I'm going to do this better, or I'm going to get better grades, or something like that. So let's all just make a resolution to Krishna. We're promising to Krishna, saying, Krishna, I'm going to do this for you. And I'm going to do this, and I want to be able to say next year that I have kept this, the whole year. And I want to be able to take a better resolution the next year. So it doesn't have to be something big. Just something small, because when we jump for bigger things, then usually it all sounds good now when we're making the resolution, and then after, when we're doing it on a day-to-day basis, then it becomes hard. So even if it's just a small resolution, let's make sure that we stick to it. So let's just take 2 minutes now and think about the resolution, and close our eyes or not, and make that resolution in front of Krishna. What we want to do this year for Krishna. So is everyone done? So now we're going to share some pastimes regarding how much Krishna is looking for our love. Krishna doesn't care what level of service we're giving. It's just the purity of our love. That yome bhaktya prayachati. Krishna is looking for our love, not how much we offer, what we offer, the value of what we offer. Krishna is just looking for our love, right? And that's why we have to chant Krishna's holy names, because that is the best way to express our love for Krishna. Because suppose this Pushpa Abhishek festival, this cannot be done every day. Can it be done every day? No, but we can chant the glories of the holy name and the holy name anywhere and everywhere, regardless of where we are. So this is the best way to please Krishna. And Krishna is just looking for that service. And we're going to describe some pastimes about how Krishna is just pleased by any service that we do for him. So in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's a devotee named Kolavecha Sridhar. So some of you may know, Kolavecha Sridhar was a banana seller, because in India there's banana sellers. So they sell banana leaves, banana flowers, banana roots, everything related to banana. So he was a great admirer of Lord Chaitanya. So he knew Chaitanya Mahaprabhu since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a little kid. So he was the age of like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grandfather. So an elderly man. And he was also not only admiring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he had this relationship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of devotion, not only love. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was a kid, he would come every day to Kolavecha Sridhar and steal some banana leaves from him. And he would say, "Oh, please, why are you making everything so expensive? Why can't you give me a cheaper price?" And he would steal the banana leaves from Kolavecha Sridhar. And Kolavecha Sridhar, out of his love for Lord Chaitanya, he would say, "No, I'm a really poor man. I don't have anything. How can you rob me like this?" So Kolavecha Sridhar was only concerned of seeing the beautiful face of Lord Chaitanya longer. So just to make this discussion continue for longer, he would say that, "How can you take you're such a thief?" And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, "No, you're a thief." So they would have their discussions, intimate discussions like this. And Krishna, he didn't need Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't need the banana leaves. But he's only looking for the love and devotion in our hearts. And that's why when Krishna says, "Patram pushpam phalam toyam, yo me bhaktya prayachati, tadaham bhakti upahritam, ashnami prayatatmanaha." Does Krishna really need that flower, that piece of flower, fruit, water that we offer to him? No, he's just looking for our love. And that love for him we have to express so that our need can be fulfilled and so that we can go back to Krishna. And that's what Krishna is longing for, because Krishna wants to be with us. Krishna doesn't want us to be separate from him, suffering in this material world. So Krishna is trying to reawaken the love in our hearts. So there's many stories, like suppose another story is like Sudama. When Sudama Brahmana comes to Dwarka to meet Krishna, he brings some chipped rice with him. And Krishna steals that chipped rice from Sudama and eats it with so much happiness. And chipped rice is a very bad quality of rice, which no one really eats. And Krishna was eating that with so much satisfaction because it was filled with Sudama's love for him. So Krishna is always looking for that love. So it's our duty to give that love to Krishna, because that's the constitutional position of the jiva. And that's why even though it's like the bird in the cage example. We may take care of the cage really nicely, but if we do not feed the bird inside the cage, what happens? Is there any use in taking care of the cage so much? No, because the bird dies. So we have to feed the soul. And food for the soul is the chanting of the holy name and the study of scripture. Because that's what reconnects us in our eternal relationship with Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada came in the beginning of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in the 1960s, it was New York, so it was the counterculture time. And there used to be hippies. So they were all sons of wealthy businessmen, and they were all educated, and they all grew up in the way that we all long for. It was high education, full wealth, but they were all dissatisfied, and they were roaming on the streets of New York looking for something higher. So, and since they were looking for something higher, they were looking in the wrong place. They were looking in the material world. So they were thinking drugs or something like that. And they were thinking that this will take me to someplace higher. But right after they came in touch with this transcendental knowledge that Srila Prabhupada preached to them, they immediately gave everything up and connected to it immediately, because that was the need of the soul, which was fulfilled. Because the need of the soul, like I mentioned, is the need to love and be loved. So when this need is fulfilled, truly it can only be fulfilled by Krishna. All the love in this material world is temporary. So when we can have the pure reciprocation of love with Krishna, then the need of the soul can be fulfilled, and then we can become satisfied. So Krishna, that's why he comes again and again in the form of the bona fide spiritual master and in his form as incarnations to awaken that devotional service in our hearts. So we should all make a conscious decision to serve Krishna in all ways we can. Our whole life should become an offering to Krishna, a service to Krishna. And it shouldn't be like, this time when I'm coming to temple, it's an offering to Krishna, or this is my material life and this is my spiritual life and I have to balance it. But they should become one. There should be no difference. Our whole life should become an offering to Krishna. That doesn't mean that we ignore our materialist or our material duties and say, Krishna, it's only for you. But we have to dovetail all our activities in the service of Krishna. The results of everything we do, we should offer to Krishna. And while doing everything we're doing, we should try our best to remember Krishna, to chant Krishna's names and glories. And these days it's so easy. You don't even need a book to read the glories of Krishna. The devotees have so wonderfully recorded the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. You can just hear it while you're driving in the car, going to work. You can just sing the holy names of Krishna while you're in the shower. Just different ways of serving Krishna to fulfill the need in our hearts and to make Krishna happy, because that's what Krishna is looking for also. Being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is longing for our love. So we have to fulfill this need of the Jiva and Krishna, and thus make our life successful by elevating ourselves and sending ourselves back to Godhead, and by sharing this message of Krishna consciousness with everyone else, so that we all can go back to Godhead and cross over this material ocean and not have to take birth again in this material ocean. Hare Krishna. So we have like 5 minutes. Any questions, comments? Hare Krishna. Is there a microphone? I think, Prabhuji, you can.
Thank you very much for the wonderful class, Krishna Devi. I think you very well. Thank you again for a very well spoken class. I think you very well summarized the basic concept of Krishna philosophy. So it was a good revision for all of us. For the newcomers, I think it was very well explained. So thank you again.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji. Prioritizing the time, yes. Sadhana first. Right. When we make time for Krishna, we'll make Krishna will make time for us. Sorry, I'm just repeating because everyone. Okay, so Prabhuji's question for those who didn't hear is that some of us, usually we justify when we say that, we say, no, we have this important thing to do. This has to be done now. And this is really important. And that's why I'm going to chant later on in the day. Or I'm going to do this process of devotional service later on. I'm going to push it. I'm going to keep pushing it. So Prabhuji is asking, why do we do that? And how can we get over doing this? So this, like I mentioned in the lecture, it's when we understand the value of something, we start prioritizing it more. Because suppose we booked our flight, and now our flight is at 10 p.m., and suppose right now it's 9 o'clock. And now suppose I'm hungry. So usually our hunger is a priority. So if we're hungry, usually we don't go on to do something while our stomach is rumbling. But now when we have an air flight to catch, in another hour, we'll run. No matter what, because we see the value. Oh, we're going to just say we lose our ticket. We miss our flight. So that's the thing we have to understand. Death may come at any minute. We don't know. Death never comes on call saying, okay, I'm coming now, so be prepared. So we have to be prepared all the time. So we have to make sure that as soon as possible, we should, like right after we get up, strive for the time when we can just hold the chanting beads and chant so that we can fulfill our minimum duty towards Krishna, which is going to make sure that we go back home, back to Godhead. Because anyway, all the things we do in this material life are temporary. They're not going to exist. And when we compare the value of both, it's just spiritual world is eternal. The activities that are going to really matter is what happens after this life. So if we get so much entangled in these activities, these stuff with no substance, then there's no meaning, there's no point. So, and even if we think that there is some importance in these activities, the importance is nil when compared to the importance and the value of the chanting of the holy name and the activities mentioned in the Krishna conscious process. So we have to understand the value of the process of devotional service and this human birth. Prahlad Maharaj explains that Kaumara Acharet Pragyo, the intelligent people practice this Krishna consciousness from the very young age. Because only when we do this process of Krishna consciousness from the young age, then it becomes easy as we grow up. Otherwise, if we think that, oh yeah, now we're going to skip this age, and then after we grow up, we'll think, then when we grow up, it just becomes harder. Because then this is when all the duties come up saying, oh my God, I have my job, I have a family to take care of. And in the midst of all these responsibilities, we find no time. So it is really, really important from the beginning of our lives, and even if not from the beginning of our lives, from where we understand, from when we understand that this is the most important process, we should make sure that we should start prioritizing our sadhana, because the material life is never going to get easier. So if we postpone now, saying that I'll do chanting later, it's never going to come to the day when we can say that I'll have time for making chanting the first priority ever. Because the material world keeps us so much entangled that we'll forget everything. Everyone is struggling for existence, and everyone is forgetting their relationship with Krishna in this struggle for existence. That's the disease of everyone. That's why the temples are like spiritual hospitals, where they're curing the disease of the soul, because they're all struggling for existence. And they're all thinking, how shall I earn my daily bread? And they're running after that. And that fear for existence is making them lose that value. And they're not giving any value to and importance to the chanting of the holy name and to reviving a relationship with Krishna. So when we see the value of this, then we can automatically prioritize in our day that this should be done first. So in this value we can understand by reading scriptures, because the value is mentioned in the scriptures. Like Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, like I mentioned. It's the only way, it's the only way, it's the only way. Thank you for watching. Haribol. Any other questions? Hare Krishna. Please forgive me for any of my offenses that I have committed, and please pray for me so that I can progress in my devotional service, so we all can progress in our devotional service together and make Krishna the most happy. Because we do this Pushpabhishek festival just to show and express our love for Krishna. And the best way to express our love for Krishna is by helping each other elevate in our devotional service. So please bless me, and please let's all Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Let's all make sure that we can all progress in our devotional service and make Krishna the most happy and go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Let's thank Hrsta Devi 3 times Haribol loudly. Haribol! 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 Please be seated. I know everybody is in rush to get home quicker. Just quick announcements, and then you all can take prasad and go if you like. Otherwise, come back and stay for Shayan Arati and Kirtan. So today's Sunday feast is sponsored by Prana Krishna Prabhu, Taruni Radha Mataji and Gandharvika Devi. Are they here? Prana Krishna Prabhu? So let's thank their family 3 times Haribol. Haribol! 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 And Muralidharan Prabhu is here. Muralidharan Prabhu. So Muralidharan Prabhu has sponsored last week his daughter's birthday, Bhargavi. We have a cake cutting, so in 2 minutes we will do the cake. Yeah. And today is the very auspicious day, as Hrsta Devi told, Sri Krishna Pushya Abhishek, and also lunar eclipse is there tonight. So 9:36 p.m. to 2:38 a.m. So this is the best time to chant and read and hear. So I know it is late, but that is the best time. Eclipse means that is the only thing we should be doing. So at least we shouldn't be eating or we shouldn't be driving outside, but at least trying to hear. Because that's when Mahaprabhu appeared, which is coming up. Gaur Purnima festival is coming up on March 20th, Wednesday. And actual day is March 20th, Wednesday. We will be celebrating on the actual day, 7 to 9 p.m. And also on Sunday, 24th Sunday, Gaur Purnima. It's a very, very important day for all of us if you want to progress in devotional service. And February 11th, Monday, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu's appearance day, fasting till noon. That is the actual day is Monday. We'll be celebrating on day before, February 10th, Sunday. Vasanta Panchami is also there on Saturday. So both together we'll celebrate on Sunday, February 10th in the evening, 5 to 9 p.m. Everybody is invited. Then February 17th, Sunday is actual day of Lord Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day, Lord Nityananda Trayodasi, fasting till noon, 4 to 9 p.m. Another important festival. This is the starting of the, this is the first festival, biggest festival we all should look forward to, because without the mercy of the Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Balram, we cannot progress in our devotional service. So let's try to come and attend and invite more and more people. Let them take the blessings of Lord Nityananda Prabhu so that we all can get some mercy and progress together. As Hrsta Devi has said, it's progressing together. We are here to do together everything. So Then we'll have Abhishek, Katha and Kirtan on that day. And also on March 20th, Wednesday and Sunday. Also we'll have some drama for March 20th, Gaur Purnima. So if anybody want to participate in the drama, please contact Hari Kishore Prabhu. And also I think Devakinandan Prabhu will be coordinating that festival, I believe. So please, you can discuss with him if you have any special ideas or thoughts, how you want to, do differently, Gaur Purnima festival. So you can talk to him and give your thoughts. Thank you very much. Please come back for Shayan Arti Kirtan. So I know everybody is, thank you for, first of all, for coming today. So with because this gives an intensity to increase our devotion. Already Hrsta Devi mentioned, because this is the test. If you are not able to come thinking that, no, it's too cold, Prabhu, let me stay home, which is not, when we are going to practice. Time will come, then, we are going to fail at the time of, passing away from this body. So this is the time we need to utilize to see what we can do. Let's try at least. And if it is too difficult for your body, it's understandable. But as much as possible, if we can try at least, then Krishna will give the mercy and energy so that we can progress together. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Cake cutting is there. So let's chant for her. Anybody want to chant? Hare Krishna.
To you, Hare Krishna, to you, Hare Krishna, dear. What's your name? Krishna, to you, may you never take birth again.
So proud of you.
May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again and go back to Godhead. Haribo. Are you?
Also, somebody forgot the cell phone. If anybody's cell phone is this, please come and pick it up. We have class. Over the phone, right?
Huh?